All right, welcome back to Just Good Vibes. I'm here with
Jack Holmes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And where are you from?
I'm born and raised in New York. Became an Arsenal fan close to 20 years ago. I think 19 years ago now. After the 2006 World Cup, I got the bug. Actually, it started before that. I played FIFA against my friend. I'd go to his house, and he was always Manchester United. So, and those were the days where you picked Arsenal when the other guy was Manchester United. Vieira against Keane, the whole thing. Then I watched the World Cup. I see Henry. Probably not his best tournament he ever had, but he had some swagger. And that was it for me. I was an Arsenal fan after that. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And tell me a little bit about what you do.
So I'm a journalist by training. After I left school in 2014, I eventually made my way to Esquire magazine, where I was an editor for 8 years. I covered politics, which I'm glad I don't cover anymore for the most part, but I also did a lot of sports stuff there. And because it's such a weird time in the media now, I was a young kid who got crazy opportunities. So one day I got an email that Pele, there was a new documentary, or no, it was a live action movie. It wasn't a doc, but he was in town to promote it in New York, and they're like, do you want to interview him? And I brought it to my boss, and he was like, yeah, just go. So I met Pele in a Midtown hotel room. I talked to him for like half an hour. I got so lucky with all that stuff, just the timing, it wasn't that I was some genius. It was just like I was in the right place at the right time. But I got, great opportunities like that. But I always wanted to cover the game more. So after I left there, I started the Football Weekend, which is a newsletter and a podcast covering the world's game.
Nice.
We cover the Arsenal a good amount because I can't resist. But I also try and spread it around a little bit across England, across Europe. And we've even done some, Argentina and some of that. So it's been great just to cover the game week in and week out. And great to be here to chat a little Arsenal as well.
Awesome. Yeah, speaking of Arsenal, let's get into the nitty gritty, man. Last season, let's talk about it, man. What are your thoughts?
So obviously the league campaign was a step back. I think we can safely say that. We didn't really compete. I do think the injuries should be factored in. I think the ridiculous officiating in the first half of the season needs to be factored in. There were a couple of crucial games where we had outrageous refereeing decisions against us. The Brighton sending off Declan Rice. Leandro Trossard getting sent off for kicking the ball away a millisecond after the whistle at the Etihad in like what everybody thought was the title, a title decider, even though it was early in the season. Outrageous refereeing. And by the way, when you have players suspended, other players pick up more minutes, more likely to pick up an injury. But we also have to say that our goal scoring was not there. We were not dangerous enough in the final third. I don't think we weren't unpredictable enough in the final third. And that's what set us back. We were able to compete. We were able to compete in the Champions League because we could defend at a really high level. And if we win those battles at the right times, we can win those games, and we did against Real Madrid. You can't say that was anything other than an amazing success. I think we still have never lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League, if anybody's keeping track.
That is true.
But overall, I think it was basically two different seasons for me. There was the Champions League, which we have to be happy with. We gave PSG a great, pretty good game.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely.
And we've seen what they're capable of against other teams. So I feel I'm torn, as you can see. I'm torn about the season.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Same here. We did push, people, players stepped up. Unfortunately, players got injured in the last leg of the season. So it could have been better, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We move on. Looking at the off season, now that we're in the off season, we made some business. We did some business actually. We already know Zubamendi, Nørgaard as well. Just first and foremost, talk about those incomings that it's already confirmed.
So I think there's a good chance that Zubamendi, we look back and say that's the best player that we signed in this window. I think it's one of those things where we were linked for so long and it took so long for it to be completed that I think people sort of get tired of it, and it's not as exciting, and they want the striker, which I'm sure we'll get into. But I think Zubamendi is world class potentially. Maybe he's not quite there yet, but he's a Rodri type of player that can be the base, we need that deep playmaker. That's the role that Thomas Partey played for us. Advancing the ball quickly up the pitch, finding those creative players in dangerous positions when they're not getting doubled, that's a big problem with Bukayo Saka. They put 5 guys on him.
The whole team, yeah.
So he'll be huge for that. I think it's a great signing, all ends up. Not even that expensive, it's, I think 65, not too bad.
Not too shabby. Yeah.
And I would say that, I've been a defender up until recently of our business, because I think Christian Nørgaard, I think he says his name differently, but I'm not Danish enough to say it.
Forgive me if I pronounce it wrong.
I'm saying Nørgaard, that's all I can manage. But I think that was another great signing. He's a good, solid Premier League pro. We'll be able to eat up minutes when we don't want Zubimendi to play. Even if it's the last 25 minutes of a match that we have won. Put Nørgaard out there. He's going to break some bones and win us the what's left of the match. So I think those two are very solid. We did exactly what we had to do, and also efficiently. Towards the beginning of the window, this is all wrapped up. I think we can be really happy. It's really a revolution in the midfield as well.
Yeah. No,
How do you feel though?
100%. I'm right there with you. Zubimendi, like you said, it was kind of like out of our mind, but we knew in the back of our mind that he was coming eventually. Took some time, but like I said, we needed that player. I don't know too much about it. I didn't watch a lot of his games, but obviously he has a name, he has a reputation. Once you Google his name, you'll see a bunch of highlights. I viewed them. He's actually, I think he fits into Arteta's system, and he'll do well. God forbid, no injuries. That's the big thing, Big thing in preseason, going into the season, no injuries, come out healthy, has a good chemistry with Saka, and just could distribute the ball with Rice. I think that would be perfect. With Brentford, Nørgaard, he's a captain at Brentford. I think that might be the key signer for me. I think he's a hidden gem in terms of we got him for a decent amount. He's a captain in Brentford. Obviously, he's 31 years old. He doesn't have the legs, but I think he has the passion and strength. We already saw from Raya. We've done business in the past with Brentford, so I think he's a good squad player for us. So,
and I'm not the first to say this, but I think if Zubimendi doesn't immediately adapt to the pace of the league, you have a guy that's been playing the league for years
100%.
who can, maybe he starts the first couple matches.
100%.
Maybe when you go to Old Trafford, first match of the season, it is Nørgaard who goes out there. And again, he's a bruiser, man. I like that. I would not want to go into a 50-50 with that man. So,
100%.
I mean, he's very Mikel Arteta player in that regard. He's he's a dual winner.
He reminds me of Chevley, or from Newcastle, I forgot his name, Chevley, the ball head.
Oh, John Joe Shelby.
Yeah. I think he's pretty, he could get in there, get crunchy. Obviously, he's kind of similar as to Partey with not the much legs. That's the only thing, but obviously he'll be in the midfield with Declan. He'll have coverage as well. And obviously Saka, Martinelli, they track back. We'll see who else comes in. We'll talk about that shortly. But overall, I think we've done good business thus far. Moving along to the big one that has sparking a bunch of controversy around the Arsenal community. The NM, Noni Madueke from Chelsea. Price tag, the play quality, just talk about it.
I think the biggest thing is it's too much money.
Yeah.
For me, it's too much money. But it will all depend in the fullness of time.
Exactly.
If we sign 2 more forwards, which is what I think is necessary. We need 2 more attacking players to come in, including the striker that we all have been talking about forever. I've been back and forth on this. First of all, I hate Chelsea to the depths of my core, and I'm sick of doing business with them. That's a big thing. It drives me crazy. We keep buying players off them. Jorginho was probably the worst one, although he turned out to be a decent signing, I think.
There's going to be a documentary out about going back from the 90s or something about the business that we've done with Chelsea in the past.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
When I was coming of age again in the 2000s, we did not talk to Chelsea. It did not happen. We hated them. We hated Mourinho, Drogba, Lampard, and we didn't talk to them. Then we started getting Petr Cech off them. It was this slippery slope. And now here we are. We beat every transfer window.
Every transfer window, at least 2. Kepa and now.
And Fabrizio Romano, who transfer guru, in his stories about Madueke now, he's saying great relationship between the clubs. I'm like, no. What is going on?
No. We could tell obviously from past past history, definitely.
But you have to separate your feelings about where he's coming from, and even the price tag. In the end, it's not my money. If we end up getting a striker and another forward, maybe he's just a guy who again eats up minutes. He physically is very gifted. I mean, he's got pace. He can take on a fullback. He's not the most polished player, I would say, but he can smash it at goal. I mean, we need a little of that in the team. We don't take enough shots, I don't think. So we'll see. I think it's basically whether Mikel Arteta can make him a better player than he is. Because the only thing that I've seen, not that I watch Chelsea week in and week out, I'm not a masochist. That's not what I want for my life. But I've seen he's a decent player. He's a decent player, and hopefully can become a good player and a squad player, I think.
Oh.
How about you, though? How do you feel?
With the price tag, with the player, again, Arteta wanted him in. Trust the process. I trust Arteta, so I don't see the vision right now, so probably I'll see it when he plays with the team. But yeah, again, that business that we do with Chelsea, it's weird, and I just feel like he's just a number that it's in a bigger picture of something that's going on. Again, he's hungry. He wants to come. He's happy. It's probably going to be a new setting for him. Obviously, it's going to be a new setting for him from all that Chelsea drama that he's been in. So going to a new club, I think, will be good for him. Price tag,
it's way too much.
Yeah,
and we're bailing them out. I mean, the other thing is that Chelsea are being sanctioned by UEFA because they've been spending like drunken sailors. By the way,
those contracts.
Yeah, we get a lot of crap for finishing second a few years in a row. Chelsea spent $1.5 billion. They spent $1.5 billion or whatever it is, pounds, whatever currency you choose, a lot of money to finish like fifth every year at best.
Yeah, it's insane.
And they get no heat for this. I don't know why we catch everything.
It's insane.
But then we're bailing them out when they need the money, and we walk into the room offering 50. I would have walked in and said 30 plus 10 or whatever, 35, whatever it is, and maybe they bid you up, but like, come on.
Yeah. I think it will be a good signing. I think overall his quality is there, like you said. Amazing player. He has speed. He has agility. He reminds me a little bit of Doku from Manchester City.
Yeah. I like someone who will go to the byline, take people on.
Exactly.
I hope that's what he's coming in.
I think he'll fit it right into Arteta's system. I do think that. The only problem I think I have with it is if you watch a couple of the Chelsea games with him, he has a little bit of attitude problem. Like you could tell, like he's very like if you don't get the ball, like he could tell, like you could see his emotions.
Yeah.
That might be a thing with Arteta. I'm not sure how that's gonna play out, but again, I feel like if we did probably have a striker already, this signing would have just been like, oh yeah, just adding depth, like amazing, like we're getting players in. But I feel like once we secured a striker first, then this, it's easy money. Like, come over here. It is what it is. But
a lot of people are talking about the order of the signings, and I think that's true. I think we need the striker, but I think we need another player for the left-hand side 100%. As well. And apparently, Madueke may be playing there some of the time. I don't know.
I heard he's very versatile in terms of like playing both wings.
But Chelsea fans who I've read on this, they don't think that he can play on the left side. But Arteta reportedly thinks that he can make him that player. I think you need. I mean, I want Eze, as does everybody. I feel like just an absolute baller.
Yeah, he's.
But amazing. Also, I mean, Rodrigo, I guess, is out the window. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't think
that's possible.
But I think, Gabriel Martinelli is a player I have love for, but I don't think he's been doing enough. And I think we need somebody out there who's. Why doesn't Gabriel Martinelli take on his fullback more often? And he doesn't score enough goals, I don't think. Like, that's in the modern game, that's what you need from a wide forward.
I agree. He has a drop off from last season. I think I do think we need a backup for him, at least to challenge him and show him. Rodrigo, I don't think we'll have enough cap for Rodrigo. I think if Eze come in, he might fit into that slot. Obviously, he's a different type of player in terms of like quality and capabilities. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting as well. Where would Eze fit in? Because obviously he would want to start as well, and there's only so much spaces. So where would you put him?
The thing is, though, we're probably going to play 60 matches next season across all comps.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of.
There's going to be minutes for everybody.
No, that is actually true. But yeah, again, I don't think we're gonna have the budget with that 50 million we just spent. 52 with add-ons and stuff.
Unless we sell somebody. I mean, they're talking about selling Trossard, which I don't love.
20 mil from Fenerbahce. So
yeah, I don't love that though. Like, I don't know. I'm also biased because even when he was at Brighton, he was one of my favorite players in the league because he sort of reminded me of myself. Where like not the most pace in the world, but like
he gets it done.
You try and be clever. You try and score a couple goals when you can. I've always had love for Trossard, and I think he's sort of much maligned. He's too maligned for me. Like, I think coming out of last season, if you're looking at him and Martinelli, I have a lot more beef with Martinelli, who I think works really hard, as you said earlier.
Fair.
He brings a lot to the team. You know why Mikel Arteta loves him, He takes pressure off the fullback, and
he tracks back.
Yeah, he's a great defender. But he's got to do more.
Yeah, his
we're not threatening enough, and that's why I want Eze, because in that left half space between the fullback and the center back, and maybe he'll play out wide a bit, although people say he doesn't really want to play out there.
Yeah.
But we need more threat in there because it's all, historically it's been all down the right side.
True. No, you're absolutely right. We'll see. If we don't get Rodrigo, who do you think, other than Eze, like, who do you think we get possibly who's on our radar? I think Kudos is already gone.
Yeah,
Tottenham is doing business as well. Let's talk about the other teams that's really doing business.
Well, Tottenham, though, it looks like they may not be getting the guy from Nottingham Forest.
But they pulled the trigger.
So the reports I read were that they met the release clause for Morgan Gibbs-White, but now Forest are saying they illegally approached him and they might file a lawsuit. Because Forest, they're a little crazy. I don't know if you remember last season. They're a little crazy over there. So who knows what's going to happen with Tottenham. And with Tottenham, I'm just never that concerned. Like, they always sign the player that's like the level below what they need, with the exception of that Pochettino era. It's always players that are one level or half a step below what they need to really compete at the top. That Kudus, to me, is a really good player, but is he that player? I don't know. He didn't do much last season. He was great the season before. He was great the season before. We'll see. Tottenham, I never worried that much about. Could be famous last words. We'll have to see. United, I would say Chelsea, United, Tottenham are all up there for my most hated clubs. United, I'm not afraid of at all. Chelsea, it's hard to get a read on them because there's so many people leaving and going in at the same time. Again, it's like the rules don't seem to apply to them, or we just bail them out whenever they need it. And then, but City will be a brand new team. They could look like anything. They may have a new formation by that. Like, who knows what they're going to be doing?
They look
Peps is cooking.
Yeah, they look pretty good in the FIFA Club World Cup. So
and I like Ryan Cherky. I thought we should have been in for him, man.
Yeah,
I was complaining in January. I was saying, why don't we go get this kid? Lyon are like, they got relegated. They're saying no money.
Oh man, they're in some
why don't
drama.
We go get that guy?
They're in some drama.
And here's something to complain about. Why do City and Liverpool pull off all these transfers where they pay like 35 million? And then they sell everybody to Saudi for like 100, and then we do the opposite. We can't sell anybody.
That's super wild. But what's one signing that you would just be happy of doing this window? One signing that, regardless of the price tag,
we need the striker. We need, and I was more Sesko than Gyökeres, but get anybody. I would take Ollie Watkins, get somebody in there who's going to score 15 goals this season. And also, I think I've been swayed on Gyökeres a little bit where he's big and physical, and he could create opportunities for other people just by causing havoc. We could use some of that because we're just too predictable, as I said, to kick it off. So we need that striker to come in. I don't think that I think Kai is a good option there, but I don't think that.
Doesn't have that.
Yeah, he's not a goal scorer really
fair enough.
He's not
compared to Gyökeres.
Yeah, we got to go get somebody who's just hungry to score all the time. And he has that thing where he's just like shaking people in the middle, kind of like when Gabriel Jesus came over in that first half season when he was like unplayable.
Yeah.
We need that back because that was when we played our best stuff,
So hopefully whoever comes in doesn't get injured.
That's been our problem the whole time.
That's our main problem. So, but I agree with you. I think Gyökeres will be amazing. And I always appreciate players that want to come to our club.
Yeah.
And he wants to come to our club. He didn't even turn up to training for Sporting. So I think It's really close. It's just amount of numbers. It's just making sure everything is. I think he already agreed personal terms. He's just waiting for the send off from his club. So hopefully he comes in and we win some titles. Well, what is your anticipation for next season based on all the signings we're linked to, the signings confirmed, and our preseasons going into the new season?
So I think we have to compete on 3 fronts, I would say. I gotta be honest, I don't care about the League Cup, and some people would say that's sacrilege. I just don't care.
Yeah, fair.
I think it's a good opportunity to play players that are not getting minutes, because you probably will need them in the second half of the season anyway.
100%.
But the FA Cup is our trophy. We should be competing for that, and we have not been competing in recent years. And then, last season, 2 seasons ago, we really did compete for the league, and last season, I think you could say we really did compete for the Champions League.
Fair enough, yeah.
Again, Liverpool and Arsenal, I think, gave PSG the biggest tests that they had, and they are the best team in the world.
Fair, yeah.
And I think that's something to build on, and to say we know that we have the best central defensive partnership probably in the world. It's up there. Liverpool would probably say they have a good one as well. But we have, one of the best defenses. We've got a very good goalkeeper. Urian Timber is probably the best one-on-one defender around.
100%, yeah, I agree with that.
Miles Lewis-Skelly, we all love for obvious reasons. And now he's getting paid too, well earned. Apparently he signed a massive deal, and he's 18 years old. Good for him. So, and Declan Rice, had a new dimension to his game.
Yeah.
Zubimendi, I think could be a world-class player. Martin Odegaard is a question mark, I think, where
fair.
Last season he wasn't fit, I don't think, and he just was not feeling his game.
Yeah.
But this summer, can he get that back together? Because then we become that really dynamic team again, because he is a genius when he's feeling it.
When he's feeling it, he is amazing.
And Saka, we know. We talked left side. I do think we need somebody out there. That's the other big. I think we need a change of tempo guy, somebody who can carry the ball. That's why I really want Eze, somebody who can carry the ball between the midfield and the final third, carry it in there, make people sweat. A bit of that Henry thing, where he gets out in the open, he's embarrassing Jamie Carragher. You need some of that. You need a game breaker. Alexis Sanchez. People always say we're missing that guy.
Right.
So that's what I want. That's what I want to see.
Right there with you.
But I think we're in good shape overall. We got a lot to be happy about.
Yeah. I agree. We have a lot to be happy about. The preseason is shaping up. They're on their way. They're training with it. They're building that chemistry, getting fit. Working on some. Hopefully, we have a new coaching staff as well. So hopefully, they're working on some.
Gabriel Heinze.
Yeah. Some set pieces. We getting everything right. So I'm looking forward to the preseason. I guess we start in when a couple weeks from now. So.
Yeah. I mean, they're now at training in London, and I think they go to Asia first.
Yeah.
Right? We play Milan, and I think we play Tottenham out there as well.
Yes, we play Tottenham, and then we play Atletico for something.
Well, I think we come back. We may play them another match out there, but then we have the Emirates Cup kind of stuff against Valencia and Villarreal or something.
Yep.
So we'll have some good opportunities to have a look at the team, but I never put that much stock in preseason.
Fair.
It's you don't know what the coach really wants. It's sort of like with the U.S. national team. People were losing it over those friendlies before the Gold Cup, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe he's just seeing what he's got,
Exactly.
You can't read too much into it, but we're right into the, into the frying pan or into the fire with that Old Trafford visit to kick things off. That's serious business.
That's going to be
because they always get up to play. They're terrible, but whenever we go up there, they can play.
Game on, yeah. And they have some new signings, Cunha and so, and they're probably looking for a striker as well.
But see, they're doing Tottenham things now for me. I think United, they signed those guys that are like a B+. Like Cunha's a good player. He's good. He's a good player in this league.
Yeah.
But is he a guy who's going to get you into the Champions League? I'm not convinced. Maybe.
You'll never know.
Emerim, who knows what this guy can really do? I like how honest he is in his press. As somebody who covers this in the media, I love how he talks. He cracks me up, and he's honest. He's like, we're terrible, man.
yeah. No, he's one thing about him. He keep it 100.
Yeah, but Eric Ten Hag, they were terrible, and then they knocked us out of the FA Cup and all this stuff. It's I guess Emery might have been the manager by that time, but you know what I'm saying. They do get up for us, and we got it tough. Those first 6 matches. I think we have Liverpool in there, don't we, or City, and then we end that with Newcastle.
Yeah.
They are another team that loves to play us, man. It's like their Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, that's going to be Isaac, too. He loves scoring against us.
Yeah, he's scary, dude. He's mad scary.
It's going to be a Gyökeres. We need a striker. So.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we need a guy like that. Like, he's one of the only players I've seen give Saliba and Gabriel a serious problem. Like, in that
he's
League
panicking. Had Saliba panicking.
Dude, that League Cup semifinal, they were sweating because the way he runs those channels, they don't know when he's going to go. Suddenly he's, like, bursting by them. We should have gotten it. I mean, it's easy to say now, but we should have been snapping him up for Real Sociedad.
Seeing what I see now, yeah, absolutely. Sign me up. Yeah, no, absolutely.
It was a risk at the time, I guess. You know, you don't know if he's going to make it. He was kind of slender. You know, he's a skinny guy. You never know.
Yeah.
Damn, man, we missed
it. It works out for them. It worked out for them. Yeah, we definitely missed it. But yeah, other than that, any other transfers? What are your thoughts on the Eze? Just rumors.
I think I would just love to have him. You know, he's a London kid. He was in the Arsenal Academy, didn't quite make it, but sometimes that's like one of the best stories when you come back.
Yeah. He said he cried for like weeks.
Yeah, and he had to grind his way back, you know. I think he was at Millwall for a bit, and then he went to Palace, and, you know, that's the kind of player, there's a tradition of that. Ian Wright did that kind of thing where he came from Palace. I think that would be a very Arsenal signing, and also a good thing for Mikel Arteta, because he wouldn't be, he's not in the Arteta mold, I don't think. He is more of a maverick player, and that's what we need. We need that player that's going to go off script and write his own script, because that's the script that the other team doesn't know is coming. You know, they know our patterns of play by now. Hopefully we have some new ones going into the season.
He reminds me of Grealish when he was playing with Villa, you know, that free roam, like you get to be all over the pitch, just orchestrate. But it's going to be interesting. How do you see him and Odegaard meshing with each other?
That's a good question, you know, because, and it's also, you know, will he be in that left A position instead of Declan Rice at times? Will he play out wide? Will he play in Odegaard's position sometimes?
Exactly. That's a lot of question marks.
You think that he probably prefers to be on the left half of the field?
I would agree, yeah.
But maybe he will be in there for Odegaard sometimes, whether for fitness or, again, change of pace. Like I just love the way he carries the ball and terrorizes people. Like that's what we're missing. But yeah, you know, if we're chasing a game, if our 2 8s are Odegaard and Eze, that's pretty scary, man. That's a really scary looking.
That is dangerous.
Yeah, nobody's gonna want to see that. Maybe we wouldn't be we wouldn't be defending at the same level, but sometimes you got to chase the game, you know.
Of course, you got to score. But other than that, before we wrap this up, we definitely have to talk about Ethan in one area. I feel like going off of last season, he kind of like didn't have that much appearance. He did great, and then suddenly Arteta just stopped playing him for some reason. Going on to this off-season, we're hearing a lot of rumors about him not happy with the playing time and possibly thinking about moving. What are your thoughts on him and his contribution going into next season?
He's definitely one that he knows his value and what he wants. And that was the case when we were trying to get him to sign the first contract, where he was like, am I going to get minutes here? Like, what's going to happen? I hope that he will ultimately stay. If this Madueke signing drives him out of the club, I will lose my mind, because I would just so much rather see him be a great Arsenal player than sign Noni Madueke. Hopefully there's space for everybody in this squad, because I don't think he's the type that we would send out on loan, you know, Ethan Nwaneri. I think he would just say, sell me. So I hope that Mikel Arteta is in his ear, meeting with him, saying, you're still my guy, we still want you to be, you know, a big player for us, because I think he could be. And he's another guy who could play in that Odegaard position when Martin needs a rest or when we want something a little 100%. Different. So I'm hoping that this is a bit of brinksmanship from his representatives, which is I mean, that's the job, you know. They got to be looking out for their client, getting the most they can for their client. But I'm hoping that's what it is, rather than him genuinely thinking about going to Chelsea or something. If he is thinking about that, we should show him a photo of Omari Hutchinson, who is now in the Championship, having made that move, because he went to Chelsea looking for playing time. There's no playing time at Chelsea. They've got 500 forwards, you know.
No way, not a chance.
But yeah, I hope he stays. He's like, I mean, we all love the academy kids. We all love to see this happen, and he really looks like possibly a generational talent. You know, how do you feel? Are you stressing?
I think something is up with Arteta and him, just based on the last season. But like you said, he's very strong-minded in terms of like what he wants and the quality that he brings. And I just feel like he's he's taking the short end of the stick compared to his fellows. You know, MLS is already starting.
Yeah.
I'm just comparing it off of that. Like, they had the same kind of like rise, and then he kind of like.
And he might not be feeling great about that.
Exactly. So he's kind of like looking at it as that, like, yo, if I'm not getting the shine and the limelight that I deserve, I'm gonna take my talent somewhere else. I know somewhere else is gonna pick me up.
That's the business.
Never know. But do I think he's still? Of course, I think he'll stay, of course, because I feel like once we get those players, like, I think the only next level is silverware.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of gets that, and I think if you stick around, silverware will get you, and then maybe you move on after you get some silverware, add more value to him as well. So I do think that's a route for him.
Yeah, far be it for me to tell Mikel Arteta how to do his job, but I probably would say you are the Odegaard rotation guy.
Yeah.
Like, listen, man, you're still 17. Like, you can't start every match.
Yeah, of course. You're still.
I wonder last season,
youngster.
whether he had a falling out with Arteta, whether it was just trying to manage his minutes because he is young, and we've had those issues with young players. You know, we played him a lot.
MLS was there, man.
That's true.
Out,
yeah,
man.
But he's a big guy, MLS.
True.
I think people sleep on that a little bit. Like, he is a serious athlete.
He is.
Whereas Ethan, he's getting bigger.
Yeah, he's bulking up. You see some pictures of him in the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, he might just be a slight half step behind MLS in terms of being a man. Really, like MLS is like he's ready to bang on anybody.
He's there. He's timber side.
Yeah,
he got that timber.
And I love how he accepts the ball, spins inside. Yeah. He's rolling off the hip.
He knows how to use
player.
his body for the most part. Yeah. So, but I just remember something. You remember when we played Sporting with Victor and Gabriel, and then Gabriel did that celebration. Now that he's possibly coming, how do you think they're gonna mesh well, chemistry-wise? Because obviously Gabriel's the Batman now, and then obviously Victor is the Bane. So
I expect the first goal that Gyökeres scores, I bet that they line up next to each other.
All right, they'll just do that. That would be an amazing pick. Let's do a photo, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think they'll get along. Listen, these guys. At the end of the day, anybody who will help them win football matches and win those trophies that you're talking about, that silverware, I think they welcome them with open arms, And everything in the past is forgotten. They were opponents. And Gyökeres, I'm not the first to say this, but we beat the hell out of Sporting.
Yeah, he cooked them.
Even then, there were times when he had Saliba and Gabriel sweating in a way that few, we mentioned Isak, there's only a handful of strikers who these two guys even think about,
Yeah.
It's not like, but when they're going to sleep the night before a match, Saliba and Gabriel are usually not like, oh God, I got to face somebody tomorrow. But there's a few that they probably do, and I think Gyökeres, he's a handful, man. I like that.
True.
I like that a lot.
No, I agree. I totally agree. It's gonna be super interesting, like you said. I'm waiting for that first goal if he comes to see what the celebration will be, because we know his celebration. I just wonder how it all comes together. But I do think, in all seriousness, they'll work well together. At the end of the day, the main goal is getting silverware. I think at this time, I feel like this season is make or break in terms of like players like us, like locking down players like a Saliba.
Yeah.
Those foundational players, like maybe I can't even say Saka, but I would say like maybe a Saka, because at the end of the day, they're only getting so much older, and silverware is the end game for all of the season. So
we saw it in the Wenger era. If you don't win, eventually people leave. Robin van Persie goes to Manchester United, and I'll never forget. I'll never forget to do that. But Saliba, I don't know that he's going to sign a contract this summer, and we could be looking at a Trent situation where Real Madrid's whispering in his ear, and he's going to go for free in 2 years. So I think you're right, and I think the manager is going to be under serious pressure. Serious pressure.
It's a tough seat for Arteta.
I don't think if he doesn't win a trophy this season, I doubt that the board will dismiss him. But the fans will be baying for it. I may be baying for it.
Yeah,
if we don't,
it's going to be crucial.
if we miss out, if we take 95 points and City takes 96 or something, I'm not going to be like, get rid of the manager. But if I don't feel like we've really taken another step forward, and really you do have to get your hands on something.
Yeah.
He's going to be under big pressure. He's got to do it this season.
I totally agree with you. Like you said, we have a lot of games this season, so a lot of opportunities for silverware. So it's crucial, make or break, because for the last couple of seasons we've fallen really short. We came so close, and now this season we actually, hopefully, got all the incomings that we need. God forbid some of the outcomings that we want to see stay. He has no really complaints, or God forbid, other than injuries.
No excuses.
No excuses. I mean,
yeah.
So hopefully this is our season. But yeah, it's gonna be a slippery slope next season or the end of the season, because the Crown Keys, I think they invested a lot. They gave him some time. They backed them, so it's gonna be interesting.
He's got to do it. He's got to do it. But I think he's shown that he can go toe-to-toe with some serious managers. Like, we're starting to give City a lot of headaches every time we play. Yeah. We beat the hell out of Real Madrid, which I never get sick of saying, man. I mean, that was crazy. I was at O'Hanlon's, which I know you're there all the time.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, the scenes were incredible.
Amazing, bro.
For the second leg. And so, you can only complain so much. We're competing at a high level. But, until we win something, and by the way, one of the reasons I don't care about the League Cup is that even if we won the League Cup, you'd still have Chelsea fans telling us that we're nothing. We need the league, really. Yeah. We need the league, we need the Champions League. FA Cup would be great. Let's make it a double.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. But before we wrap, any last thoughts? What are you working on? What are you looking forward to? Plug anything you want to work?
So I have a new series coming out right now where it's some of the best of from the podcast over the last season.
Go check that out.
Casey Keller, a longtime U.S. men's national team keeper, and also one of the first Americans to really make it in Europe, is the first episode out today, where he talks about his days at Millwall and the crazy scenes that he was a part of.
Oh my God!
In
check
those
that
days.
out.
First of many to come. We've had some great, big time commentators and ex-players on the show, so we're going to roll out some fun stories.
Go check that out
over at thefootballweekend.com.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's it. Please like, subscribe, let us know your thoughts on the transfers. Thoughts on the season, upcoming season, and yeah, again, just plug your stuff. It's gonna be in the link below. Just plug anything. Any last thoughts before we wrap?
That's it, man. I'm hoping that we have our hands on something silver.
Please, come on, you Gunners. Let's go. Peace.